What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bucco Territory, presented to you by the Foul Territory Network. I'm your host, Noah Hiles, and joining me, as always, are my wonderful co-hosts, Josh Harrison, a.k.a. Jay Hay, and Platinum Key, a.k.a. Mark. Fellas, we got a lot to talk about. Okamoto, he's signed. He's not a Bucco. That's going to be the focus of this show and what comes next. But before we get into that, I want to remind everyone that this show is sponsored by So Many Angels, and we're going to hear words from them now. This episode is sponsored by So Many Angels, a nonprofit founded by local photographer Matt Myers that provides free professional photo experiences for children facing cancer and other life-altering medical diagnoses. Their photo sessions are designed to help kids see themselves as strong, confident, and heroic. The next Pittsburgh experience is February 1st, and they're currently looking for families who could benefit. Visit SoManyAngels.org to learn more, share the link, or find ways to support this incredible Pittsburgh nonprofit. That's SoManyAngels.org. All right, so as we noted, Okamoto signed, I believe it was over the weekend, right? Was it Sunday when he signed?
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday when he signed. All the days blur together. Like, today's actually the first day
The
of
holiday
the year.
season is
Think about
busy.
it. Yeah.
Right.
I'll be like watching a football game and thinking like, okay, this is Thursday night football. And it's like, no, this is Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, so he signed Saturday with the Toronto Blue Jays, 4 years, $60 million, $5 million of that on a signing bonus. I'll start here. Was anyone not disappointed? Was anyone surprised by the final destination here? Because it seemed like it was the Pirates, the Angels, and the Padres really doing the bulk of the bidding here. And then Toronto just kind of swoops in and offers this guy 4 years of $60 million. It's a pretty good offer for him.
Yeah. I wasn't too surprised. Robert Murray had kind of alluded to a few times that there was another mystery team kind of lurking out there. And also, I mean, if one of those big teams were to make an offer, maybe he would have just signed earlier.
Correct.
So it makes sense to me. The Blue Jays are a great fit for him.
Yeah.
And that's a very reasonable contract for the Toronto Blue Jays. I think he's like the seventh lowest AAV or seventh highest AAV, so barely a blip on their radar. But yeah, it stinks to see him go. But
Yeah,
Josh?
I mean, I would say a little bit of a surprise seeing him go to Toronto. Just from seeing where the traction was with him, I think Toronto was kind of a sleeper team, which
Yeah.
in my eyes is not a bad play because with all the reports out, he's got to sign by a certain date. You're already seeing things that he was talking with other teams, so they probably were already getting a feel for what his market was. And then even for him, it's appealing. They went to the World Series. They were one game from winning it all. And sometimes it's not about what you can offer. It's about what's happened lately. And Pirates and other teams very well could have been very aggressive as well. Probably could have matched the offer, but they were just in the World Series. The fit of him being able to play with third. I think the plan is for him to play third, right?
Yeah.
And not that might not have been a plan in other places. These are personal choices, and it's just one of those things. Like you said, it stinks to see him go, but for the Pirates, you gotta keep the ball moving and pivot to the next best move.
and I was hoping that
Yeah.
maybe like Alex Bregman still being out there would have scared off a team like the Blue
Right.
Jays. They were heavily connected with him, but it makes sense for them. Just hey,
Right.
this guy has to sign now. He's pretty darn good, and let's just pivot to either Tucker or Bichette and go that direction.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it now too, I think I still think the Pirates is probably where he could have had the biggest impact. Like they would have been asking him to do the
Right.
most, right? Like he would have been hitting middle third of the lineup, probably playing the most. He would have got the most leeway, right? Where in Toronto, if he doesn't play well, you could just put Barger back at third. You could put Ernie Clement there. Like they have so many
They got some
other
pieces.
options. Yeah, that they could put at third. And honestly, he might be someone where if the glove, I know the glove was not an issue for him, but like if it is an issue, they have good defensive players they could put there late in the game. They have so many different options there. And he's going to be a bottom of the third lineup guy. They'll hit 7th or 8th for them
Mm-hmm.
until he gets acclimated. And then if he's anything better than that, yeah, they'll move him up. But it's not like if he came into Pittsburgh or if he came into Los Angeles for the Angels, like this is a guy that would be probably batting 5th, and they would be demanding 20-ish home runs for him, where he has a little bit of grace now, and
Yeah,
this
less
4-year
pressure.
commitment, this 4-year commitment really allows him to kind of settle into a higher level of baseball. So, I mean, I totally get why he wanted to do it. I totally think 4 years, 60. If you would have told me that was the price tag, I would have thought the Pirates got him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I just like you, Mark. I didn't think that Toronto was this interested, but
Yeah.
I get it. It makes a lot of sense.
But
One thing I
even
will
on the
say-
flip side,
Go
good.
ahead, Josh. All right,
No, I
I'll
was
go.
just saying, yeah, mine will be
You go.
simple. Mine's gonna
Yeah.
be simple.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. What I was gonna say on the flip side, as I said, personal choice, personal preference. Another thing that I just thought about as a player, maybe the dome, weather could also
Yeah.
play a factor in him coming over, saying, you
Big
know what,
Japanese population in
yeah,
Toronto.
you know what I mean. That population and knowing that, hey, I'm playing in kind of climate control, even though they can open the roof. It's not like
Yeah.
if it's cold outside, they're gonna leave it cold. So that's also an adjustment of saying, okay, if I want to make an adjustment, I want to make sure that I'm probably playing somewhere that I can kind of be comfortable with the weather. So that's something else that just popped in my mind. I was like, you know what, that could also be a selling point too.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, yeah. At the end of the day, there's a lot to like about the Toronto Blue
Oh, yeah.
Jays.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
one run away from winning the World Series, and they have pretty much everyone coming back. So, yeah, there's a lot. Any final thing to add on this, Mark, before we move on?
Yeah, just the one thing that did surprise me about the contract was that there was no opt-outs,
Yeah.
which we saw with the other two Japanese signings. And so I was curious if that was something where Toronto didn't have to offer an opt-out, where maybe that would have been something that, if he's signing with the Pirates, he would want opt-outs. So that kind of shocked me for a 4-year deal. But again, he seems like the high floor, low ceiling is what the tagline has been with him. So maybe they're just happy with the consistent AAV and where they're at. So not a bad place to land for 4 years.
No.
Absolutely. All right, so now he's off the board. The Pirates still need to make moves. Spring training, I think they report in about a month and a week. So what's
Soon.
next? That becomes the question. I'll open the floor to either of you guys, and I'll start by asking this: is third base still the area of focus here? Is it as simple as they have to go get Gino Suarez now, or are you looking elsewhere? Are you saying, okay, well, hey, you know what? Maybe Marcell Ozuna, you shore up that designated hitter spot, and you could stomach not a lot of offensive production from third base and behind the plate, or are you trying to get upgrades at catcher? What's the move here? What's the next thing on your wish list if you're the Pirates? We'll start with Josh.
I've seen the reports of being interested in Gino. I don't think it would be a bad fit if you're looking to shore up third base. And if that's what we're looking for, because still looking for an impact bat, right-handed bat, and Gino would definitely fit that mold. But as you just mentioned, shoring up a DH spot like a Marcell Ozuna does give you the option to know that third base is going to be handled defensively, and anything that is handled offensively, necessarily, I want to say by committee, that could be a bonus. You got to find out what's going to make sense, because granted, if you're really going to be that serious with going after Okamoto and willing to spend that, what's going to make sense to shore up your team, making it better by allocating that to, is it via trade, or is it signing Marcel and using those other resources to maybe do something with the catcher, or vice versa, who knows. But I think it's one of those things that you just have to weigh your options to know that, okay, defensively, third base, um, is that something you don't want to lose any defense. But if you're going to give up a little bit of defense, you better be gaining a whole heck of a lot in the bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the trade-off. And I don't think Gino's a bad fit. He knows the Central, but at the same time, if that's not going to happen, you have to find a bat somewhere else.
Mark?
Yeah, Pirates are in a pretty awkward spot, kind of, I think, right now. Because just the way that this offseason is shaping up, not a lot of teams are interested in prospects. And that's really all that the Pirates have to offer right now. I mean, I don't know how much MLB talent the Pirates can trade at this point to acquire other MLB talent. But I think so. I'm still think third base needs to be the priority focus. But I like Jared Triolo there, but I think he's just brings so much value as a utility player, allowing him to shift elsewhere. Let him do that.
You're gonna need depth.
Yes, exactly. And the depth right now does not look great on the Pirates bench. So one guy that already was brought up today was Addison Barger from the Blue Jays. He played third base and right field. Obviously, they just signed Okamoto. They're in on Kyle Tucker. He's already kind of been bumped out of the infield. So why not go after him? He's got some power. I mean, his defense is not great. It's a little below league average, but he has a cannon of an arm. So he can play right field. He's about like 20 home run power potential kind of guy. He had 21 homers last year for the Blue Jays. And he's team control. He's cheap. So you still can go out and spend on a Marcell Ozuna or fill out like your outfield more with like a Mike Tauchman, a guy, I think, Noah, you brought him up earlier this year, who, not the sexiest name out there, but a guy who's really underrated, would be cheap, and is still available in free agency. So with the limited pool of free agents, there's obviously that top tier of the Bichette, the Tuckers, all those guys, the Bregmans. None of those guys are going to be Pittsburgh Pirates. And so outside of Eugenio Suarez, which, I mean, Suarez is projected to get like a 3-year, $60 million deal. So same money. I mean, that's what Fangraphs has like as his like crowdsourced deal. I don't know how accurate that would be. But I think the market could be pretty robust for him, especially with all the other teams that struck out on Okamoto. I mean, we're going to be right back there, I think, with the Angels and Padres. So we'll see. But it's an awkward position to be in when you still need to make trades, but there's just not too many trade partners out there that are willing to look at those younger players. Maybe like a White Sox Luis Robert deal could finally happen. No, no, it doesn't like it. No. Yeah, I think there's better options out there, but
yeah, I don't know what exactly they do, but like I'm a firm believer that their biggest move has to still be on the way. Like if O'Hearn or Lau are your biggest move, I mean, those are big moves in comparison to the ones that you made over the last 5-6 off seasons.
For the Pirates.
Right.
But that's not enough to begin with.
Team, no.
Yeah, I mean, it made them better, no doubt. But if they're, in my eyes, they really still haven't backed their rhetoric. No. I think they've better reallocated money that they cleared up. Like this was a better use of funds than paying David Bednar $9 to $10 million to be your closer, Brian Hayes like $8 million to be your third baseman. I think you're better off giving the money to Ryan O'Hearn and Brandon Lau. So like yes, and I'll give credit, like when you look at what they were able to get for what they were able to give up in these trades, it's gone well. But we haven't seen a significant financial commitment. We just haven't. And that needs to happen. And it doesn't need to happen necessarily through a free agent signing. I mean, if you want to try to go and outbid teams for Gino Suarez, then do it. I know that the Post-Gazette reported that the Pirates are interested in Suarez, but like
they should be.
Cool. Yeah, they should be. right. But like, is he interested in them?
In the Pirates.
So I don't know, and I think that you can make an equally big move through trade. And Mark, you mentioned how it seems like some certain teams aren't interested in prospects. I mean, the Rays acquired 2 of the Astros' top prospects, and they also acquired a whole bunch of prospects from the Orioles for Shane Baz. Yeah, the Rays are still going to raise, and I know the Pirates have already done business with the Rays, but there are other guys out there, and to me, no one wants prospects until a certain prospect's on the table,
right?
And this is the time to be bold. This is the time to make your big move, and I think that's what needs to happen. And if they really don't have the money to spend, which if they don't, that's nonsense because
they do.
They need to spend more money still. But if they
were going
don't,
to.
Yeah,
they said they were going
They
to,
just
and
offered Okamoto, so I
if
assume they
you're
offered
gonna
him.
if you're gonna show up and pound your chest about your payroll being like $105 million, that's still not good enough. It's better again. It's better in comparison. It technically went up, and I'll give credit. North Shore 9, our friends over there. I think it was Jim Rosati who said it. This year should be the year the Pirates have the highest payroll in franchise history.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't it be? It's a win now mode. It's your last year of Paul Skeens pre-arb, and you're going into a CBA. It's a good look for your CBA negotiations. And also, like, you might not have to pay some of these guys next year if there's a lockout.
Yeah.
There's just so many reasons as to why this is the year where it should be 115, 120, whatever the record was, however high it was back when Josh was playing here in 2015, 2016. Those were the highest payrolls they've ever had. And even back then, it still wasn't high enough.
Yeah.
They've got to get it to at least that. When your payroll, when you're talking about spending money and you can't match the payroll you were dishing out a decade prior, that's a problem. So you got to find a way. And I'm not just saying to go out and spend dumb money here, right? Don't just give somebody money just to say you spent it. But when I say like that payroll needs to go up, that comes with the implication that you're adding value, because typically good baseball players, they make a lot of money. So go acquire one. And if that means trading your prospects, then do it. Trade in Edward Florentino. As I've said on the show before, if you look at your roster, 40-man and the farm system, and you see players who are good but will not be able to help the team win while Paul Skeens is still a Pittsburgh Pirate, they should absolutely be on the table for a deal. And that needs to be the focus. And I don't know if that addition comes at third base. I don't know if it comes in the outfield, designated hitter. And I honestly do not think it matters. Like, the guys you acquired, especially O'Hearn, he's so versatile. You can find a spot for him. And Lau, you'll find a spot for that bat as well.
Exactly.
And for guys like Nick Gonzalez and Jared Triolo and Spencer Horwitz even, and Mangum and Garcia and all these other guys, it's like there will be opportunities for you to play, but they need to get better. If the offseason were to end now and they just made a couple more, 1 year, $3 to $5 million signings, they are a better team. They have better odds to compete, but you're still entering a season hoping that if everyone can stay healthy and no one regresses, you might have a shot of reaching the playoffs. That's not serious contention. No. It's not serious contention. Josh, you've played on teams that were built that way, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And more frequently than not, a lot
of times it doesn't.
It does not. Exactly.
The inevitability of injuries. Like, you are literally hoping everything goes right, and that's any team, no matter how you're constructed. You want everybody to be healthy. You don't want any injuries. You want everybody to have, the success that they've had in the past. That's like, oh yeah, this is a player. But truth be told, that's not how it is. Baseball doesn't work that way. But if you're continually operating that way, it's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna help you. You have to be. I don't want to say. I mean, you got to be aggressive, but like as you put it in terms, smartly aggressive. You're not just saying I'm going to spend money just to spend money, but you have to add value smartly. But you can't sit here and not add value and think that holding on to something in the minors is going to turn into this big value. When no, that there are people that can help a team win now, and you got a pitcher in Paul Skeens. Not only that, the pieces that you've added. You as you said, you should be in win now mode. That doesn't mean you're going to go empty the pocket and empty the tank, but you have to put forth an effort to do something different from what you have in the past.
Yeah. And the clock's ticking. I mean, I think they've avoided the Doomsday Pirates Fest scenario. I will say that. Like, they're not going to get booed off the stage at this point. But they need more to be reporting at spring training than, if you have this group plus like a Yoan Moncada or, something, if they just add a couple of replacement level players who are coming off of down years, the same crop of guys that they've been bringing in every year. It's like do I think that those guys, there's a place for them? Absolutely. You need depth. Like, I'm not against Yoan Moncada being signed to platoon at third base. But if you do that, then you need to go out and get someone better to play left field or play catcher or be your everyday DH
Right.
That's not
to
gonna
make
move
up
the
for
needle.
it.
Yeah.
Right. There needs to be another 8-figure addition.
Yeah,
here.
some kind of impact
8-figure
Yep.
of talent. And if it comes through trade, that's great. If it comes through free agency, that's great too. But their biggest move still needs to be made, in my opinion. Otherwise, this was a good offseason for their standards, but their standards haven't been up to snuff for a very long time.
I grade this offseason so far like a C-. Like it's
I give it
massive.
higher than that.
You think? I guess
Just
the trades
because
have been really good.
The
for
trades have
what
been
they've
good.
given up.
The trades have been good, and they signed O'Hearn. I like the Soto signing. It's just like, for right now,
Exactly.
I give it like a B. For right now, I give it a B. Now, if
the
it
season
ends,
ended, or
yes,
the offseason
it's
ended.
a C minus.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's a B. Now, you still have the final portion of the test, and this next month, this first month of 2026, is a very big one for the Pittsburgh Pirates, because if they do not get it right and they stay put and they don't make another move, I think it's going to cost them, because
Another wasted
this team
opportunity
is good enough to be interesting, I think. But if they don't make any other moves, I think there's a very good chance we're going to get to September and say, man, if they just made one more move, this could have been different.
Yep.
And that would be a shame, because after this year, the finances get a lot more complicated. So,
and you don't want to be that close.
No.
You don't.
And not, trust me, it happens. If you're that close, I mean, as I said, it's not our money to sit here, but at the end of the day, as you say, adding value, good baseball players are going to cost a little bit more. And if you want to win, you have to spend. And as you said, we got to spend smartly. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
And I do think that the Pirates Noah, you're probably more connected into this than I am, but I feel like the Pirates front office has to feel the pressure too. We talked about this. Like Ben Cherington, if he doesn't make the playoffs this year, is he going to have a job? Yeah, I mean, who knows, right?
Right.
But you have to be thinking that, like, in the front office, having that, like, question, like, if I don't go all in this year, will I ever get another shot to do that?
I'll just say this right now. I don't think anyone can blame Ben Cherington if another move isn't made this offseason.
True.
Because Ben Cherington's made good moves.
Yeah.
I think if they go and just, get replacement level players on 1-year deals for the remainder of this offseason, we're going to be able to determine who the real problem was all along. And I mean, I think we all kind of knew. But I mean, Cherington has had his flaws, right? The trade returns haven't been good. Like, there have been failures in development. Like, they have not got a lot of these things right. But on paper, he's had some really good trade returns, and these free agent signings make a lot of sense for what he has to work with, right? Like, I believe I reported, like, the payroll would be around $90 million. It's at $95 million now. So with the reallocated money, with the resources that already existed, he has made this team better. But an additional investment was required. And they talked about how they were going to spend money. All they've really done right now is reallocate money.
Right.
Yep.
So now it's time to give him more money to work with. I'm not saying you have to double the payroll. You should, but that might be a bit aggressive. But if you don't have another $20 million to give this guy to add, how bad do you really want it?
Right.
And if you can't afford to give another $20 million, should you really be owning a Major League Baseball team?
Might be a good time to get rid of that $1.2 billion asset or whatever the value is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh teams, they're selling. The Penguins just sold.
Penguins.
Who knows? But, hey, like I said, we still have a month to see how it plays out. I don't anticipate any big signings happening once the calendar hits February. That's typically where guys are just like, all right, I need a team before spring training mode. So there's still some big dominoes to fall. I'm sure there's going to be a big trade or two still.
Trade market seems to be heating up.
The trade market needs to get going here in these next couple of weeks, because the closer we get to February, I think the less likely there is to be a trade of significance. So Fellas, any final thoughts before we head out here?
No, just got to stay the course, and as I said, you still got to find a way to make something happen. And you just got to be vigilant, and sometimes you know, like I tell kids, don't take no for an answer. And that doesn't mean, a no from this person doesn't mean it won't work somewhere else. And that's not saying if mom says no, go ask dad. We know kids do that, but
Mm-hmm.
in this process of trying to make your team better, you got people that you align with that you think are going to make you better. Don't let one person's no keep you from trying these other people, because the right person will find a fit if you're really vigilant of trying to make your team better.
And I'll just end on I'd love to see the Pirates prove some people wrong, like Noah's saying, and go out there and spend that money. It's so close, it feels like. One more move, being that tantalizingly close of having a really, really good offseason. It's exciting, but also you got to be nervous if you're a Pirates fan, because it feels kind of all too familiar, too, and seeing how the story played out before. But if there was 1 year to do it, this has to be the year. So, end on that.
I want to end by reminding everyone to hit that subscribe button if they haven't already. Our mission to 1,000, we keep climbing. We're getting really close. We're over 900 now. I believe we're
Let's
like
go.
close to 950, if not
Yeah.
over that. So, big thanks to everyone who subscribes. And if you don't subscribe, it's not too late. You can do it. Fellas, another show in the books. We'll be back on, when do these post? Tuesday and Thursday. So yeah, we'll be back on Thursday. You can check it out on our channel, Bucco Territory, presented by the Foul Territory Network. We'll see you then.